when I turn the camera, even though my hands are still the same, one of my hands is going to get closer to the camera by the angle
Right.
you move it. You see what I'm saying? So if you're looking at it in a position, oh yeah, y'all all equal. But somehow every time I move to the camera, this hand gets to the camera first. No, we're not equal. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
You look at car loans. I'm gonna give you a good example. And I don't even give a damn if they get upset. The Honda dealership here in Greenville. I was about to buy a car from them. I'm there to fill out the paperwork, give the down payment. They don't wash my car, pulled it up front. And some white people came in and said, oh, we like this car. Can we test drive it? And I'm at the table. Do you know the man let them test drive the car that I'm trying to buy? And then when I said, oh, okay, cool. I'm called me like late the next day, hey man, you gonna come back in here and finish the paperwork so we can get you in this car? If
Yeah.
I walked into the dealership and it was a white couple sitting at the thing doing the paperwork, about to get a car, and I said, oh, they're about to get that car. Oh, that's nice. Can I test drive it?
They be like, no.
No, no. They would say no. They would have did that. But that just shows you what they think about us. And he expected me still after doing that to bring him my money.
No. No. Because
No, 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 no. Follow me. If he didn't expect me to bring me the money, he didn't expect me to bring him the money back, he wouldn't have called me. You see? So I said, I'll be
right.
back. And I left. I was gone. Like, so he expected me to come back. Like, I'm not gonna call somebody that I don't expect to come back. Hey, what happened to you yesterday, man? You let someone test drive the car. I don't want it anymore. Oh no, man, it's here. You know, blah 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 blah. You come pick it up, da da da, finish. Oh, no, I'm good. And I really wanted that car. But my soul couldn't let me get that car because I dealt with racism right in my face. And some people I say
Right.
that's not racism. Yes, that is. Because if the shoe was flipped, it wouldn't happen.
No. Because I've been at a dealership and I saw a car and I was like, hey, I want to go and touch out this car. They were like, oh, no, no, no. They're inside doing the paperwork. So, yeah, we can't. It's already sold. That's what they'll say. It's already sold.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you be like, oh, okay, cool. Then, you got to go look around and find the other one, which is an interesting thing about that Honda dealership in Greenville because I had a lady friend and she was going to buy a car from that Honda dealership. And that's all she was really buying at the time. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
so she would get her like the Honda Accords and she'll upgrade like every 2 years, something like that. And for some reason, she was just like, she asked him, not to run the credit so much. She says she know who she bank with, blah, 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 you can run that credit. So come to find out, they ran her credit about 5 times, right? She's like,
Right.
nah, that ain't it. That ain't how it's supposed to go. And then her interest rate was higher at this dealership. So she was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Whatever. She left and she went to, I think, the Honda dealership or Toyota dealership in New Bern. And when she went, no, Honda dealership in New Bern. And then when she talked to him or whatever, they ran her credit one time and it's with that bank of Honda. She got a low interest rate and she didn't end up, I don't know if she ended up getting another Honda, but I think she ended up getting a Toyota from them or whatever. But it was like they're brand new,
Right. But
if I'm
see,
correct. But they financed it through the bank. One thing, like she asked it to do, because that's always she always used to do. That's what she always used to do business with. So one time, paperwork was easy, in and out. She got the new car, and that was it. So I don't understand why is it so hard for people to just not do certain things, like to sit there and run somebody's credit 5 times, that's going to jack it up.
So now think about this. You're
So
black.
technically it got ran 6 times.
Because they're running your credit like that because you're black. Because they don't think you got credit. Like, that's the sad thing about stuff. They read you, like we had the episode about perception. They read you by your color. So when they automatically come in, they're not there. And here's the other thing. If they can get a higher interest rate on the loan and get it through their people and not your bank, then they make more money. And it's a salesman. He gets paid off commission. He ain't getting no hourly rate. So he's makes a sale when he makes a car. So that gets an agreed. He's not that great of a salesman. So he's trying to make the most out of every sale and not being able to make a quality sale, many quality sales. He's making a low quantity sale and trying to put everything in it. So he's trying against all these different banks to see who's going to give him the best commission. Okay? Because basically, if you walk in with your own financing, they shouldn't run shit for you. I'll be real with you.
Right. Because she told him, like, I deal with the Bank of Honda. So just run it through them.
Right. They should have ran it through the Bank of Honda and let it go. But instead, they ran it through all types of little bitty banks. And
yeah, because she told me when she looked at her credit after the whole deal, and she looked at her credit statement or whatever, she's like, yo, I didn't authorize none of this. But guess what? It's too late now. There's nothing they could do. What can we do to prevent that? Like, or not even prevent, but
you can sue them if she did. They need to have you got to sign a form asking for permission. So now either one or two things happen. Either they broke the law or she didn't read the paperwork.
And that's a lot of work. That's a lot of papers that they well, you know what? Not anymore. Because I noticed, like, last time I was at dealership, it was like one piece of paper you had to sign to let them run your credit and whatnot.
But still, you got to read that one piece of paper, man.
Right.
The devil's in the details in a small print. Because it says at the bottom, and we're going to call other various loaning institutions or lending institutions.
Right. So, because I also I've noticed too, like, depending on how you dress, how you carry yourself, because at the same time, if it was, we'll just say a drug dealer, if it was a black drug dealer going into that store, they're going to probably know 9 out of 10 that this guy is probably going to buy a car cash.
Not nowadays.
I mean, not now, but back then, yeah.
But back then, you had dealerships that dealt with just cash and drugs. So they, like, those dudes wouldn't go into, like, they might go buy their woman, put a down payment at a Honda or Toyota or Nissan or Lincoln Cadillac, Mazda place for their woman to get a car. But them damn souped up cars they buying, them shits chop shoeys, or they are part of what I would call that network of undercover car lots that don't really check credit, like they just
right.
So you ain't going to a major dealership. I'm talking about now when you take that and bring it back to the farmer. If you as a citizen, a regular person without a farm is trying to do that, think about how big a farm loan is. Think about how big a year, like getting a farm loan is. And what they would have to go through. If we're going through that little bit stuff with cars, just think about how hard it is with black people and white people getting in homes. You see black people now having to go out and buy It's basically they have white people who are selling their family pictures in your home so that you can sell your house for and sit in your house and pretend that it's their house. So when a realtor comes with the people, they'll think white people own it and give you a better rate. Because if they know that it's black people, they'll need lowball you. And that's not right. That's
Yeah.
part of racism. That's you when we talk about racism and people say, oh, there's no racism, how do you explain that if it's not racism? How do you
Right.
explain that?
Yeah, because my one of my coworkers, she was looking to buy she was going to rent, and one of the realtors assumed that she couldn't afford the rent. And kind of was like shrugged her off on something like, okay, cool.
So
Because
she
the
made an
daughter
ass of
noticed,
her and herself. Okay.
right? Because the daughter noticed, like, yo, ma, she ain't trying to do that. Now, some people can be a little oblivious of, like, because the personality of being nice and giving people benefit of the doubt and everything like that. Once I felt that, I'm done. I'm totally done with it. Like, and so, but the thing about that realtor, they didn't understand that this woman is very educated. So when she left, she she did everything else. I think something happened with the apartment. I don't think it went through, or what happened. She wrote a letter to the company or whatever. And then next thing you know, a couple of days later, the lady's like, oh, yo, you want to come back, check, look at the place again, blah, 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 blah. At this particular point, it's like, no, I don't want to do it.
No, because
So why it had to be that way? Like,
everybody has dignity, right? Some form of self-dignity. And you going back when somebody, like, if you're trying to do something with somebody and they renege, back up, don't want to deal with you, give you a certain attitude, and you go back to that deal, most times in the end of it, it's gonna fuck with your self-dignity. It's gonna mess with your head. Because most times the first vibe they give you is a real vibe. The second vibe, they're just trying to get the money. Like the guy. If you really want to sell me that car, you would not let the other people test drive it. But you think that I feel the car is going to make me, because it's a luxury car. So you think, oh, it's a black man luxury car. He needs this to be his appearance. No. My self-image is not built on my car. My self-image is built inside of me.
right.
And it moves out, not what people see on the outside and come in. Because that's fake. That's material. I don't need that.
Right.
So you think that I have that low self-esteem that be like, oh yeah, I'm coming to get it. Woo. No, bro.
I felt in victim. I felt victim to that because, my life, I always get used cars. So it was this one incident. We went in New York at this dealership, and it was a Mitsubishi dealership, and I had a 84 Caprice at the time. And I was like, I brought it from Long Island. So, water, rust, snow, all that stuff. But that's something I could have probably, if I really wanted to, I could have fixed all that, right? But me being young, not as confident as I should be, even though the car was a great car, me personally, I should have sat down and really studied about what I'm going to do. I didn't do that. So I went to the dealership, traded my car in for this Galant. I'm like, wow, I finally get something newer. Great. So I go there, get the car. They said, all right, we're going to get the car. Your parents going to pick it up for you tomorrow. Cool.
Can I stop you 1 second? So your Caprice was paid for, right?
Right.
Okay, keep going.
So I come home from work. My